Okay, the first theory that we discovered that attracts our attention and it's applicable 100% to our project is the strategic competence and communicative competence. Well, let me tell you very quickly about it. These are two competences which are usually together, and when used together, they have been proved very powerful competences to help any learner. Yeah, they are special because they are composed by verbal and non-verbal communication, and these are strategies to recall when when they have to compensate breakdowns in communication. And also it is a type of knowledge which is how can we say it? It is a type of knowledge that include non-cognitive aspects, yeah, but includes non-cognitive aspects like self-confidence and readiness to take risks, yeah. In second place, we have the 4 pillars of education that we thought that they can help a lot to our project. We consider 3 of these pillars, which is learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live. The learning to do is to acquire the competence to deal with everyday problems. Learning to be, to have greater autonomy of oneself, and learning to live, to develop the understanding of our surroundings or the people that surround us or them. Yeah. Another theory that supports our project is this one, the critical humanism and the sociocultural constructivism. These are key theories, right? First of all, the Minerva's model at the BOAP is based on these theories. And we discovered that the critical humanism considers the human entity as a holistic one, yeah? So it considers that the human being is all the time evolving and it is interrelating with others, yeah? So everyone builds its own reality, and usually education implies interest, compromise, and respect. On the other hand, we have the sociocultural constructivism, which the main center of this theory is the learner. Here we have it, center learner. Is the learner in which the learner produce and reproduce knowledge in a certain type of context, and through symbols and interaction in the zone of proximal development that allows the thinking development through meanings and experiences. And we were talking about learning in context. Also, we have this, the one situated learning and significant learning, because we want our learners have meaningful and significant learning. So it is a relationship that exists between the context and the apprentice, where some activities are developed in real context or real situations, and therefore in a specific context they will acquire this significant or meaningful learning. Yeah, and the last one, which is the pragmatics, which considers the communication as a way to interrelate or be in relation with another person in terms of meanings. So that's why we thought it would be important to mention. So this is the foundation of our project. Okay, then we have the project phases. As I mentioned before, we have a preliminary phase, which is the proposal we are presenting here today. Then we have the planning of the courses. We need, the planning has some stages like to plan the course, to meet the plan, the preparation and the marketing support, as I mentioned before. Also, and the implementation of the courses, the evaluation and the closing. Okay, talking about money. Well, talking about money is always difficult, but we come up with this useful chart. We have the stages over there. As you can see them, we have preliminary project, planning, preparation, implementation. All of them have costs, and we have here the costs. In total, the cost will be this, 9,000 740 pesos, yeah, including transportation. Another important thing to mention is the time, even though we cannot put a price on the time, but we consider it as an important factor because we have to stop working in our jobs in order to fulfill this requirement. Yeah, if the class were paid, we'll be earning this amount of money and this will be our savings. But as this is a social service, we won't earn anything. Yeah. Okay, the evaluation of the social impact, we have three stages again: diagnosis, formative, and summative. I mentioned it before. We have the diagnosis to see the level of the students, if they are their interests, their motivations, and their expectations. We also have the formative, which is going to be intermediate assessment. And finally, the summative, which is more like an interview with our students, in which we can ask them some questions like, did you learn? Did you overcome frustration? Was it useful? Was it what you expected? Etc., etc. Yeah? Okay, and how are we going to evaluate the social impact? Well, we come up with a beautiful checklist and we subtract some of the elements as the level of frustration, the satisfaction, the competencies developed, and the applicability, because remember, we're talking about English in context. Also, we will have some quantitative indicators like the number of students enrolled in our courses and the survey of satisfaction. Also, a qualitative one with the director of the program 50+. Yeah. Well, we will develop with this evaluation, we will develop some evidences like the test, interviews, like the communities, we will have a dialogue with the community, we will use checklists, rubrics to check the learner's satisfactions, and finally our final practice, which will be recorded, yeah, as our evidence. As we were working on this project, the Dr. Cinto told us that we will encounter some problems, and we said, well, what type of problems we can encounter? They are students. But no, because they have very specific ways of learning. And yes, of course, we will encounter problems, yeah? Even though we are not sure about the problems, that's why we wrote expected problems and possible solutions. But the first one would be that they are ashamed of participating, right? Or they don't have enough level to participate in the classes, yeah? Of course, some of the proper conditions of the age that students may not be able to listen, or students may not be able to understand instructions. The students may not arrive on time, yeah? So we come up with certain solutions like to motivate them if they are ashamed of participating. If they are not able to listen, maybe we can give written instructions or turn up the volume of our voice, or maybe they can pair up with another student which is stronger than them, yeah? And if it's the case, because adults are very responsible, they don't arrive on time, maybe we can give certain tolerance for our student. Right? So, well, this is the end of our project. As a conclusion, I can say that the project, well, let me tell you that I am very excited with the project. I think it will cause a social impact in this group. We really want to include them because they are a very, very important part of our society. Of course, during the development of my project, I encounter some problems, but everything come out good. We enjoy it, and we hope that we can put it into practice and get expected results. One of my teammates found this nice quote which says, "The elixir of the eternal youth is hidden in the only place where no one thinks of looking, in our interior." Yeah, so it doesn't matter the exterior. If we feel great inside, healthy, with energy, we can do everything, because everything is possible. Thank you very much, and that's it.